My girlfriend found out I was taking one for the team. When we first met. When I first met Emma, it wasn't love at first sight. In fact, if I'm being brutally honest, it wasn't even attraction. We met at a friend's party, one of those last-minute bring-whoever backyard barbecues where no one really knows half the people there. I was there with my friend Marcus, and he had a very specific mission that night, to talk to Lily, a girl he'd been crushing on for weeks. The problem? Lily didn't come alone. She brought Emma. Marcus noticed immediately and turned to me with that look that every guy knows, the I need a wingman stare. I sighed, already knowing where this was going. Dude, he said, take one for the team. Keep her friend company. I wasn't thrilled, but I agreed. It seemed harmless enough. I figured I'd chat with her for a bit, distract her so Marcus could shoot his shot. Then we'd all move on with our lives. I didn't expect Emma to be funny, or sharp, or wildly sarcastic in a way that made me laugh out loud. What started as a favor quickly became an actual conversation, one I didn't want to end. By the time the night wrapped up, I realized I genuinely enjoyed talking to her. I asked for her number, not as part of the mission, but because I wanted to see her again. And to my surprise, she said yes. We started texting, then calling, then dating. A month passed, then 3. Before long, we were officially a couple. The thing is, I never told her how it started. I didn't think it mattered anymore. What mattered was how real things had become. I wasn't faking it. I hadn't been for a long time, but secrets, even small ones, have a way of surfacing. It happened one evening during a game night at Marcus's place. Emma had gotten close to the group by then. We were drinking, laughing, and playing Never Have I Ever. Someone jokingly said, "Never have I ever taken one for the team." A few hands went up, including Marcus's. He grinned and pointed at me. "Come on, bro. Remember when you did for me at my party? When you started talking to Emma?" I froze. Emma laughed nervously. "Wait, what?" Marcus, clearly buzzed and not picking up on the sudden shift in energy, kept going. "Yeah, you were with Lily, and I asked him to distract her friend. You." Silence. The kind that wraps around a room and chokes out the laughter. I tried to explain, stumbling over words that sounded worse out loud than they did in my head. It wasn't like that. I mean, yeah, at first, but only for a minute. Then I really liked you. I still do. Emma didn't say anything. She just stood up, thanked Marcus for the night, and walked out. I followed her to the car. "You were only talking to me because I was the friend?" she asked, her voice flat. "No," I said. "I mean, yes, that's how it started. But it changed. Fast. You know that, don't you?" She looked at me with something between disappointment and hurt. "I thought what we had was real from the beginning." "It is real," I insisted. "I just didn't know it would be." She drove home without saying much. That night I stared at the ceiling, wondering if I'd blown up the best thing that ever happened to me because of a stupid decision I barely thought about at the time. The next few days were tense. Emma didn't break up with me, but there was distance. Her texts were shorter, her tone colder. We stopped having our usual late-night calls. I gave her space. I didn't try to justify it again. I didn't want to insult her intelligence. What I had to do now was prove every day that I wasn't with her out of convenience or circumstance, but because I genuinely loved her. A week later, she finally agreed to meet for coffee. She looked tired, not angry, just worn down. "I've been thinking," she said, "trying to figure out if I was just the backup plan." "You weren't," I said quickly. "Emma, that night, yeah, I talked to you because Marcus asked me to. But I stayed because I wanted to. You have to believe that." She sipped her drink. "It's hard to separate the start from everything else, you know?" I nodded. "I get it. And I hate that I didn't tell you, but I didn't hide it to deceive you. I just thought it didn't matter anymore, that we had something better." She was quiet for a moment. "You're right. We do have something better. And I think that's why it hurts so much. We didn't fix everything that day, but it was a beginning. Emma is strong and thoughtful, and not someone who forgets easily. It took time for that. wound to heal. But she gave me that time, and I used every moment to show her that she wasn't the girl I took for the team. She was the girl I fell in love with. Even if the path that brought us together started with a dumb favor, everything after that was real. Now, 2 years later, we still laugh about it sometimes. She'll joke, "Glad your buddy needed backup, or I might have missed out on all this." And I'll grin, knowing how close I came to losing her, just because I was too embarrassed to admit how it all began. But I've learned this: honesty is everything, even when it's uncomfortable, because real love deserves a real foundation, even if the first brick was laid by accident.